stuff, I'm looking out for my guys. When you're looking out for one guy, especially when you got guys that are new to the trade and stuff, if you trying to watch them and stuff, keep them in the right frame of mind, keep them in the right end of the thing so they don't get hurt. Also, even when you're an older person, worked in the trades for a while, you're concentrating on one end of the deal and you're not watching the other. And when you're not watching the other, it'll sometimes come back and hurt you or one or everybody on the job. So you just got to keep an eye and whenever anybody makes a suggestion or stuff or brings something to your attention, stop and then find out what's going on. Just for the few seconds or the couple of minutes that you can take to correct one thing, it'll save the job, maybe even save a life or somebody's arms or limbs or something.
I think the stretch and flex in the morning, a lot of the guys have said that actually helps them. Kind of motivates them first thing in the morning to get out and actually get moving, and it improves their flexibility throughout the day, stops their sprains and strains and stuff like that.
Something little that I do at home to try to remember to be safe is to always be present when I'm working with things like scissors and knives in the kitchen, or handing my daughter scissors when she likes to cut up pieces of paper. The kids running through the kitchen, it only takes a second to not be paying attention for something to happen. So I really try to stay in the moment and remember what I'm doing.
For my safety, I wear my safety glasses underneath my welding helmet when I'm welding or grinding, just as an extra precaution to prevent sparks and hot pieces of metal and slag from getting into my eye.
I start wearing my gloves more at home when I do yard work and hauling wood, and if there's anything I do around the house outside, I start wearing my gloves more often.
With having teenagers in our family, just learning to drive, one small thing that has made a big impact on our safety is teaching our kids not to text and drive.
A small change that I've made, and I've started making my children wear safety gear around the house when they're helping me, like eye protection and hand gloves when necessary. And I'm hoping that will leave a lasting impact on projects they do in the future.
Just communication as in here at work, communicating with the trucks, being we're passing, going across State Route 39, traffic, people do not abide by the stop signs or the lights, so people run it all the time, so we have to be careful, especially coming across the bridge, because you can't see anything because of the trees, so we have to go slow at the end to make sure that they have the traffic stop so we don't have an accident. As a person, I don't want to go home at night thinking what I did, even though it wouldn't be my fault. If I was to run over somebody that wasn't paying attention, I wouldn't be able to sleep good at night for that. That's it. I mean, that's the biggest thing here is communicating because of the cars.
I find one of the things that people are hesitant to, that I watch myself a lot, is you tend to not respect other people while you're driving, giving people plenty of space. Staying away from situations where you're going to get yourself into an accident. One of the things we discussed was the fact that just leaving the parking lot here at Firestone, the teachers here tend to pull out in front of you without even thinking. So you need to take your time, be slow down, and not get all bent out of shape when they back out right in front of you. So this happened to me, and I always take it slow getting out of here. And the same thing, accidents on the street. There's no reason for you to be bumper to bumper right up their tail end trying to push them along. Give them a little space, give them a little room, and you'll be a lot better off.
Well, we've lived in our house for about 20 years now, so I know my way around pretty well at night. When I get up first thing in the morning, I don't particularly like to turn on the lights, so I walk my way down the stairs in the dark. Well, if there's a cat sitting on the stairs and you step on the cat, you could break your neck. And that's almost what happened to me the other day. So now I turn the lights on, and it's a lot safer that way.
And things I do for safety are when I prep my children's food, I make sure that it's cut up properly so they won't choke.
First thing is that I never wore a seatbelt until I started with this company, and the biggest thing is that I wear a seatbelt every day, and I carry that on to
my home life, and when I get in the car with my wife and kids, I put my seatbelt on first before we leave, and that's a big impact in my life, the way everybody's on cell phones and texting around here. And I'm really happy when Mr. Burkhouse comes out of the job, because I really do feel really safe with Ryan on the job.
Well, basically everybody looking out for everybody else. You know, sometimes you get complacent, and if your coworkers are looking out for you, that helps a lot. You know, I've noticed that there's a couple guys on this job that do that, you know. Hey, you don't have your shield on when you're grinding, or, you know, always have your safety glasses on. Have a harness on when you're going to be 15 feet from a 6-foot drop, you know. And that goes a long way, is having someone else look out for you too. You know, just having one person, you know, if you have several people looking out at the same time, you know, you're more liable to catch something.
We're here at Neomed with Barbara Moss. Today, she's going to tell us a few small things that she does to stay safe when she's out shopping.
Hi, one of the things that I do when I go shopping is that I always make sure that my purse is securely on my shoulder and that it's completely zipped. And I always bring my husband along so he can help me carry the bags so I don't hurt my back.
I'm wearing my safety glasses because I need cheaters, so I have the bifocal safety glasses. I can't read my tape measure without them, so I religiously wear my glasses. I wear glasses at home, I wear glasses at work. If I'm cutting at home or I'm cutting at work, I just wear my glasses.
Keep your head on a swivel, just be aware of what's around you anywhere, wherever you're at, whether you're at home or wherever you're at work, definitely at work, but at home always too. You got to do the same stuff at home that you do at work, that way you're safe.
Well, anyhow, from the time my children were little, I always tried to take them with me to the degree that I could. Was fortunate enough that I could take them to work a lot of times. And I tried to always be talking to them about where to drive, what to watch for. It's just like Dale said, to be aware all the time, because it's not necessarily you that's the issue, it's that which is around you.
One of the little things I tend to do every year with driving a truck in winter months is when the temperatures start dropping, I'll check the tire pressure, make sure that we're at the factory recommended settings for tire pressure, and then add some weight to the back of the truck, because everyone knows two-wheel drive truck that it only takes about a ½ inch of snow and you're all over the road, and next thing you know you're sitting in a ditch. So those are two things I try to keep in mind every winter.
Oh, hello there. I didn't hear you guys come in. I was just enjoying a nice hot cup of coffee and reading my Occupational and Safety Health magazine, two of my two favorite pastimes. But this leads me into what I would like to talk to you about today. Last year, as a company, we had 21 hand injuries. Some of these were more serious than others, but they all affect the way we do things in our day-to-day lives. For example, if I suffered a traumatic hand injury, I would have to alter my morning routine of drinking my coffee and reading my magazine. I realized I could still do it, but it wouldn't be in the same way. All of us have things we love to do outside of work. These things would be altered if we suffered a traumatic injury to one of our hands. Think about all the things in your life that would change if you lost total or partial use of only one of your hands. One thing that came to mind for me is playing Legos with my kids. It's one of the few things they can actually do without arguing. Could you imagine trying to build Legos with a hand injury? Most of the time right now, I have a hard enough time getting these little blocks apart anyways. Building with these small blocks requires strength and dexterity in your fingers. If I lost use of my hands or fingers, I would miss out on future memories of playing Legos and creating masterpieces with my children. I'm sure everyone has something similar that relates to what we just talked about. Something that's important to you and isn't worth losing. I'd like everyone to pay close attention this year at work and at home to prevent hand injuries. We can do this by taking time to identify pinch points before we mistakenly place our hands in the wrong spot. When working with tools, make sure your hands are clear of the line of fire. Something as simple as switching your grip could save you a lot of pain and aggravation. I know you hear this a lot, but the cause of most injuries is complacency. We become so comfortable with a task that we forget the dangers and the hazards that are associated with it. When we become complacent, that's when injuries occur. I want to encourage everyone, field personnel, shop personnel, and office personnel, to take a few extra seconds to identify the hazards that could potentially lead to hand injuries. Also, if you see your coworker putting their hands in a potentially hazardous spot, stop them and point out the hazards they may have overlooked. Remember, whether you're working out in the field, in the office, or at home, being safe is in your hands.